We good? All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our very first live stream. We are live from the couch. Once again, we are the coaches from the couch. Um, yeah, we're happy to have you guys out here. We're going to be talking sports, playing games like usual, trying our best to have a good time. We're going to be talking some Madden ratings today and also covering the NFC North preview, which is on theme with what we've been doing. Kind of getting more into the NFL season as we go. We've been talking more about the divisions, and I think that's been a good time. As you can see, Jacob's not here for us today. He is on vacation, but he will be back before too long. I'll pass it over to Carson. What news do we got?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of news going throughout the NFL right now. Obviously, we touched on DeAndre Hopkins a little bit last episode, and then obviously you have like all these like team camps are starting to actually start happening. Like a lot of rookies are showing out, some veterans are showing up, and then I believe like the last date is just a couple days away, and I think like everybody starts reporting in all the teams. So I think NFL's right around the corner, and as a NFL fan, you got to be excited due to fantasy football and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing all kinds of fantasy football drafts on Underdog, and I know that seems a little bit early for some people, but with Underdog, it's just a great platform because you draft your team, then you don't have to deal with it. So that's what I've been doing. But I definitely can't wait for those home leagues where you got, especially the in-person ones. I don't think you can beat those. But yeah. What about any NFL news do we have like in the real NFL?
Yeah, so I know like I want to go back to the DeAndre Hopkins just because I just like hating on the Titans. So being a Colts fan, I love hating on the Titans. Like I feel like this move, I've already said this, I just don't agree that it is a good move for them. And I just want to hear your input on what makes you, because you're a little bit more for it, and I just want to know, like, touch on it again, like why do you think that is a good move for the Tennessee Titans? Because the way I look at it is, I feel like they don't know what they're doing, because like they look like they're going like they don't like. They're going win now, but then they were jumping away from it. Now it looks like they're going back to the win now. And so does that mean we see Ryan Tannehill? And what do you? I just want to know your input. What do you think?
Well, I think DeAndre Hopkins is definitely a good move for this team. When you have the money, especially on a short term deal like that, I think it just makes sense. I don't think this team's in rebuild mode when you have an aging running back like Derrick Henry. I think they're trying to capitalize that window, whatever that window is, for the rest of his prime before he's gone.
Yeah.
Because as long as you have Derrick Henry on your team, you can do big things. I mean, I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl, but you can definitely make playoff runs. So I think that's what they're trying to do. And you're looking at a team that had Treylon Burks and Nick Westbrook-Akine as your receiving core, probably the weakest receiving core in the league. Why not bring in a guy like DeAndre Hopkins? And that's kind of the way I see it. I think DeAndre Hopkins might not be as good as he was 5 years ago, but he's still a star receiver who provides immediate help to that core, takes pressure off, whether it's Levis or Tannehill back there, takes pressure off Treylon Burks to perform this season. So I think it's a good move for them, me personally, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, and then so you do see Tannehill starting week 1, and you think he is leading this team, and do you think he leads them to the playoffs now? I mean, because DeAndre Hopkins, obviously, anytime you throw DeAndre Hopkins into a team, obviously he changes the wide receiver room like instantly into like where they were really weak there. So I think he automatically jumped them up, 5-10 spots in the wide receiver core, just because bringing DeAndre Hopkins' name into a team, that jumps up a team like quite a bit, just having a guy like that. So what do you think? Do you think this team is a playoff team now?
I would not go to say that. I think there's too many good teams in the AFC, and I don't think they're better than the Jaguars. So I think only one team from that division makes the playoffs, and it will be the Jaguars. So I don't have them as a playoff team. But going back to what you were saying about Tannehill, I do think he will be the starter week 1 and probably the bulk of the season, because reports that I've been hearing from camp is Levis has been kind of struggling in camp, getting used to the NFL, which is understandable. That happens to a lot of players, and they said so far Malik Willis is actually kind of beating him out, and he's kind of the number 2 guy there so far. But still, it looks like Ryan Tannehill is going to be back at the helm and leading this team, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. When you're talking about feeding Burks and Hopkins, I think that's probably the best guy to get them the ball.
Yeah, and I don't know if like today was the day they started announcing like where jerseys are going to be, like, being what games are going to be at. Because I saw a lot of different leaks today. Like the New England Patriots are going to wear their red jerseys twice this year. The Seattle Seahawks are bringing back their 1990s throwback jerseys, which
Those
is
are
sick.
sweet.
Yeah, they're sick. And then the Indianapolis Colts got new uniforms this year, and those look fire. I mean, the Colts finally did something different. They got different helmets. I think the helmets have always been pretty much the same, and now that we actually got like a black helmet, I think it looks really good.
I don't know how to feel about them, and I think I'm not the only one. From what I saw, the feedback after they got released was not the greatest. Some fans weren't fond of them. But I think it'll be one of those things that, like, once you see it on the field, it actually looks pretty cool. But I think it would have looked better since you have black in there. I just think blue and white as the Colts colors doesn't necessarily pair well with black. I think if you want to put black in the jersey, you got to make the blue a little bit darker. But
yeah, so like right now we have it pulled up, so obviously you guys can't see it, but like me and Jade can see it. Like, so we're looking at it right now. I just like how they put in, like, so we got that new logo with the C, with Indiana on it and on our chest. I like that. That we got that a couple years ago. I think when Carson Wentz was on the team, so 2 years ago. I like how they put that on the jersey. It is a different color blue. Like there's some type of there's like almost like a white tint to it. Like, do you see that white tint?
They call that heather.
Yes, and the black bolds the letters. I feel like the numbers are bigger. But like I feel like these Colts uniforms, as a Colts fan, I think I really like them. I think it's different. And I think the Colts need it different. I think we've been that blue and white forever. And I think it is a good move to go different. If there was one thing I would have suggested, I would have said gray. I'm a big gray fan. I think gray and blue would have looked really good. But I think black, it's different. So I'm definitely for it.
Yeah, I think it'll be one of those things for me. It might grow on me once I see it on the field. But
yeah, exactly.
It's definitely not my favorite jersey I've seen out of the new ones. I really like those Browns jerseys that got leaked a couple days ago. Those were really nice.
Yeah, and then I want to get into a guy we actually talked about last episode on Tuesday, Jordan Addison. I said I would take him over this year. Who was it? Jackson Smith-Njigba. Actually, that was our game, and Jordan Addison actually got in some trouble today. He was going 140 miles per hour in a Lamborghini in Minnesota. That right there is how you get out of the NFL. He just got drafted, so if he he obviously he's going to probably face maybe a suspension, maybe probably a big fine, and I think this might be a wake up call for him. If he does one bad thing, Henry Ruggs, Henry Ruggs literally is out of the league because of what he did, and I think hopefully he uses this as a learning stone, and okay, I need to straighten up and not do this again, because this can cost his career.
Yeah, I think it's you see these young guys make a lot of mistakes like this, and fortunately for him, it didn't involve in a drunk driving situation where he killed someone like Henry Ruggs did. So it's not as bad as that, but still a sign of immaturity, and I think it's not severe enough to where he's going to get suspended for a long time or anything like that. But I think it's going to be a good learning experience for him. So hopefully he can do better in the future. I was kind of disappointed to see that. I don't like to see young people messing up.
Exactly. And especially for how high they draft him, as a Minnesota Vikings fan and actually an executive or a member of the team, you don't want to see that in a potential star number 2 receiver that you took him to, because you lost Thielen, that's your replacement. And you don't want him gone. You know what I mean? You want him on the team because you need him to develop and be a solid wide receiver too. And then now moving on, we touched on the running backs last episode as well. Saquon officially removed his Giants from his Twitter bio, so I think that might cause some little talks. This is a sport podcast, so obviously it's not that big of a deal, but we got to talk about it. You know what I mean? That's something we got to talk about because he's a big name player for them. I think he changes their offense. And anytime he would change any offense, anytime Saquon Barkley's mentioned on a team, he changes their offense just by his passing ability and his running ability. So what do you think about him removing his Giants from his Twitter bio?
Yeah, I stand with him. I think, like I said in the last episode, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the Giants obviously valued running back enough to take a running back 2nd overall in the draft. And then you pay Daniel Jones $40 million, but then you don't want to pay Saquon Barkley what he deserves, in my opinion. He already said he doesn't want to be the highest paid running back. He just wants to get paid his value. And I get it. Running back, they just by nature of a violent position, and they get hurt a lot. Their career span isn't as long, so you don't want to pay them. But I just think it's really unfair how NFL teams are able to manipulate these franchise tags and able to running backs just aren't getting paid. So I like the move by Austin Eckler going to the office of the NFL and saying we need answers for this. This shouldn't be happening. These are the stars of the league. They deserve to get paid. So
Yeah, exactly. And then last thing I want to touch on about the news here recently. So the big news in the NFL today was the biggest news of them all was the Washington Commanders. They actually got officially a new ownership. They got Josh Harris and Magic Johnson. So Magic Johnson's back in the business of sports. So good for him. And Josh Harris, I think he holds like 6 teams in like 6 different sports. So he's a multi-millionaire. So good for him. I think this is good for the Commanders. New scenery. I think Josh Harris has actually been very successful in a lot of his programs and a lot of his teams, a lot of his other sport teams. So I think this is smart for them. And then Magic Johnson, obviously, he was with the Lakers for a little bit. And I think he has a good face. So I think this can help the Washington Commanders and going forward.
Yeah, I really like to see that. Dan Snyder was a guy. He was very controversial. A lot of people did not like him.
Exactly.
There was a lot of bad things that happened over there in Washington with the cheerleader situations. We're not going to get into that, but hopefully that's a loyal fan base right there. Anybody I've ever known that's a Commanders fan, really solid fan. So I respect that fan base, even though they play in our division, and I hope the best for them. I hope that goes well.
Yeah, and I do too. I think but what I was saying though, like what I think this is going to do for their franchise. I think this having like any in school, like having a teacher, like having and at work, having a good leader. I think like having a good leader, having a good coach, it just it all trickles down to everybody. Like it trickles down from the GM, the head coach. It trickles down to the players, trickles down to the training staff, everything. I think it all starts with leadership, and I think they got the right guys in the right for the Commanders. And then so now I want to get into the Madden 24 rating. So we're going to touch on most likely the top 10 of each position, and I think there's a lot of guys that I was a little surprised about with their overalls, and some being oh man, he was too low, oh he is too high. So we're just going to give you our input, what we think, and so we're going to start at the cornerback position, and the highest rated cornerback is 97 overall, Jalen Ramsey. I don't think there's a big question mark here. I think Jalen Ramsey is still the best corner for me. I think there's a guy that I think that should be higher, and he should be ringing his bell, that I think he's really close, and I think that's Pat Surtain. And we'll get to Pat Surtain here in a second. But what do you think about Jalen Ramsey, number 1?
I personally think that's a little bit too high. I think it would be a solid bet. Like if I was a betting man, I would bet that's going to be lower by the end of the season.
Gotcha. And then number 2, we have Jair Alexander from the Green Bay Packers as a 95. I think he is a really good. I think 95 fits him really well as well. I think 95 for Jair is right where he needs to be.
Yeah, I agree.
3 is Pat Surtain. He's a 94 overall. Like I said, I think he should actually be in the 2 spot over Jair. I think Jair's a 95 overall, but I think Pat Surtain should at least be a 97, 96. And I think it's a no-brainer that he is up there with elite caliber.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up the number 1 rated.
And then there's 2 tied for 4th. We have Sauce Gardner, another guy that I think should be up there in the 95, 96 range. And then Marlon Humphrey, which he's a 93. I think they got that one about right, though. I think Marlon Humphrey is about a 93. He's a little bit older. But, yeah, I think Sauce needs to be higher. And then I think Marlon Humphrey is about right at 93.
Me personally, I actually think Marlon Humphrey is better than Jalen Ramsey, in my opinion.
Really?
I think quietly Marlon Humphrey over the past several seasons has been such a consistent player, always locked down. And I think right now he's better than Jalen Ramsey, in my opinion.
Gotcha. And then so number 6, we have Darius Slay, which he kind of dropped throughout the years. And him dropping throughout the years, and the next thing you know, he went back to the Eagles, got his overall raised a lot. And Now he's back up to 92. I think after having a year like he did last year, he was like arguably like the best corner in the league last year. I think they got this right just because of his age, and it's a big question mark. Is he going to have a better season? Which I don't think he does, because he had a really good year last year, and he just got another year older. So I think they got this about right.
Mm-hmm.
And then 7, Stephon Gilmore, 91, the new Dallas Cowboy. Big Stephon Gilmore fan, former Cole. I think that's probably about right for him. Anything on him being a Cowboy? Nope. 8 is Marshawn Lattimore and Tre'Davious White. They're both 90 overalls. I think that's good. 10 is Denzel Ward at 88. I think this man should be a 90 overall at least. I think he's a very solid player. I feel like he's always been that 88, upper 80s. Like, just give him the 90 for once.
He's like the guy I've just been waiting to take that leap, and I think he could find himself up there. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then, so last year, I think this is pretty cool. Last year we had, talking about the top 10, last year we had 2 guys jump out of the top 10. So J.C. Jackson, who had a horrible year last year for the Chargers, and then A.J. Terrell, which A.J. Terrell actually didn't have a bad year, so I'm a little shocked that he dropped out. But I'm surprised he's not tied for that 10 spot as an 88 in my opinion. So next, let's get into the running backs. Running backs, we have. So what I want to this one, I'm just going to read through them, and then we can touch on.
I don't think we need to touch on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna read through them. So we have Nick Chubb, 97. He's number 1. Number 2, Christian McCaffrey, 96. Josh Jacobs, number 3, is 95. Derrick Henry, number 4, 90, and he's a 94. Saquon Barkley's number 5. He's a 93. Dalvin Cook is number 6 at 91. And 7 is Austin Eckler and Jonathan Taylor. They're both 89s. And then tied for 9 is Tony Pollard and Aaron Jones at 88. Any surprisers there? Anybody you think should be higher?
How in the world is Austin Eckler only 89? Like, I get it. He might not be like up there with Nick Chubb on the ground, but you can't. This man's had like 20 touchdowns each of the past 2 seasons.
My thing is this.
He's got to be at least a 90.
My thing is this. I think this is a no-brainer. Obviously, this might be me being biased. Jonathan Taylor and Austin Eckler are better than Dalvin Cook. Right now, in the point of their career, they are better than Dalvin Cook.
I mean, if you were watching NFL football last season, whoever made these ratings, what made you think Dalvin Cook is better than Austin Eckler?
Exactly. And my thing is, and I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of Josh Jacobs as a 95. I feel like he had one good year. He's shown me 1 year he's a 95. You know what I mean?
But I think he deserves it. I mean, for how he played last year, I think that's warranted because they're going off of last season. So
yeah. I just don't know. I don't think he should be a 95. But I do agree with the Tony Pollard and Aaron Jones. Some guys that dropped out was Joe Mixon was number 6, and Alvin Kamara was number 7, and Zeke was 9th. So I bet you he might be under an 80 this year, just because his age is getting to him. He had a lot of touchdowns last year, but not a lot of yards. So now let's move to edge rushers. Edge rushers, we have Bosa and Myles Garrett tied for number 1. Number 3 is, and they're 98s. Number 3 is Micah Parsons, 97. Tied for 4th is T.J. Watt and Von Miller.
Yep, Von Miller definitely sticks out.
Oh, and Max Crosby. He's also 94. He's tied for 4th. 7th is Joey Bosa at 91. Hassan Reddick and DeMarcus Lawrence are tied for 8 at 90. Matthew Judon is 89. So I just got to get this off my chest. Von Miller is not a 94.
He's the elephant in the room.
I can tell. What is the difference between? So Jonathan Taylor had a year last year where he had a down year. Von Miller was hurt. So was Jonathan Taylor. How is he a 94? Jonathan Taylor had an MVP season the year before, and this man is a 94. And are you kidding me?
That's another one of those. If I was a betting man, I'm going to bet he's going to be lower than that.
And then I totally think Nick Bosa and Myles Garrett should be 99s, both of them. I think they literally changed the game when they are on the field. So, and then Micah Parsons, I think that's about right. I don't think he's at 99 yet, but I think you could definitely see him turn into a 99 this year.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him. I think he's supposed to be a pure pass rusher this year. I can't wait to see what that looks like.
T.J. Watt needs to be higher. 94 ain't high enough, I don't think. He literally changes the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, literally.
Don't ask me about T.J. Watt.
And then we also have, let's see here, Max Crosby, very underrated player. I'm happy that they're actually giving him a good overall in Madden. Like, I feel like in the past couple of years he's been down. Joey Bosa's good. Hassan Reddick finally got his 90 spot after a good year last year. DeMarcus Lawrence is way too high. I think he is not a 90 overall anymore, and I don't think he's a 90 overall anymore.
I don't know. He was still pretty dang good last year.
And then Matthew Judon. Matthew Judon had a really underrated season last year. Guys that dropped out, Khalil Mack was number 4, Cam Jordan was number 6, Chandler Jones was number 8, and Rashawn Gary was 10. So a lot of changes there. And, that's a position that usually does change. Because
a lot of guys there are just getting older.
Exactly. Moving on to wide receivers, I'm going to let Jaden go ahead and steer the ship on this one.
Number 1, Justin Jefferson at 99 overall. I have nothing to say about that. We got number 2, Tyreek Hill at 98. Number 3, Devontae Adams at 97. Number 4, Stephon Diggs at 96 overall. Number 4, Cooper Kupp at 96. 6 is Jamar Chase at 94. DeAndre Hopkins, 7 at 93. Terry McLaurin, 92 overall, number 8. Looks like A.J. Brown at number 9 at 91 overall. Amari Cooper tied for 9 at 91 overall also.
Yeah, so what do you think about those?
That's interesting. Go to the top.
Go to the top? Let's
go
up real quick.
So if it was me personally, I would probably, I don't know, it's tough. It's kind of splitting hairs, but I'd probably put Devontae Adams above Tyreek Hill for me. Tyreek did have a phenomenal season last season.
So we actually have a surprise guest. So here, keep talking. I'll be right back. So just keep talking about. So I just want to let them know about the. Is there any 99s that you think should change? And then do you think Tyreek Hill should be a 99? I think Tyreek Hill should be a 99.
I do not think Tyreek Hill should be a 99. I think Justin Jefferson's the only receiver that deserves 99. Let's see.
Hang on. All right, so we have a surprise guest coming today, and it's actually no surprise, and what's up? So he had to join the first day of live, and so right now we're just talking about the.
I know. I was watching.
Oh, you're watching.
It's impossible to get in this daggone studio.
Yeah.
Got every door locked.
Every door locked. The studio is nice and locked.
If you saw Carson messing with his phone, that was me trying to text him and FaceTime him.
I was like, what does he want? But so we're just touching on the wide receivers.
One thing I will say, Von Miller, 94.
Yeah, no, exactly. That I think that's way too high. Well, what I was saying about it is, Jonathan Taylor is he got hurt last year. He was an MVP player. Von Miller was not an MVP player. How does he keep his? I know it's Von Miller. He has the name, but it should not be.
I 100% agree. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, 86. Just if you take pure what a running back is mostly for, agility, speed, and trucking.
Yeah. He
has all that at least. He has some fumbling issues, so his carrying may be a little rough. But I don't know. 86. I think 86 is what JT is, right?
Let's glance through these receivers again because I have a problem with a lot of these. Actually.
Okay, you do?
So,
oh wow.
So I'll send through it real quick because you already said it. But Justin Jefferson 99, Tyreek Hill 98, Devontae Adams 97, Stephon Diggs 96, Cooper Kupp 96, Jamar Chase 94, DeAndre Hopkins 93, Terry McLaurin 92. A.J. Brown 91, Amari Cooper 91, and they tied. So, what is your surprise? What do you think?
Well, the one that jumps off the page to me, in my opinion, Cooper Kupp is the first or second best wide receiver in the NFL.
I mean,
I'd put him right behind
JJ.
I'd put him right above Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
I'd put Tyreek at 4. I'd put Kupp at 3. Adams 2, Jefferson 1.
See, my thing is this. I would go. I think they actually have Tyreek Hill right. I think the dude's speed change, what makes that dude so good. But I think Cooper Kupp's a 98 with him. Yeah. I think it's a tie. I think Tyreek Hill's in the right spot. I think Devontae Adams is 97. I think the reason why that dude's good, it is what it is. He's good because he got a lot of volume last year. And I know, same thing with Justin Jefferson. You could say that about all wide receivers ones, but that dude, he got more targets, I feel like, than Justin Jefferson last year. Derek Carr literally just gave him the ball, or Josh Jacobs. So I think yes, he's still at 97. I think, but I don't think he's a 98. I think they got that right.
The one thing I agree with you though is I do think they got Tyreek Hill right at 98. just because last year was a down year, considered down year for him, and holy cow, he went off.
Well,
you know?
I think it's unbelievable. He's what 5'10", 5'11",
Yeah.
and he's still one of the best go up and get it guys. That's insane to me. He can jump out the gym, jump off the field. I guess not
Right.
gym. I'm used to basketball,
Right.
but like it's just impressive.
Well, and to have him and Jalen Waddle on the field at the same time is just unfair.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys, you look up and they're gone.
Yeah, and then you got Diggs. I think Diggs is right, 96. That's fair. Jamar Chase, 94.
That's warranted. Me personally, I think Jamar Chase is the second best receiver in the NFL going into this year, but I think you have to give him that just because he was banged up
Carson,
last
you
year.
think up? You think he should be?
I think 95, at least 95. I'm going to give him +1.
But we know he
maybe
had a
even
down year
96.
last year because of injuries, so
Yeah.
we'll respect
Then
that.
the thing I struggle with, just next guy, D-Hop at 93, just from a pure player perspective, look at the Cardinals last year with him on the field and without him on the field.
And he was even suspended too.
Exactly.
Came right in, and he was
Yeah.
still amazing.
Literally
So-
like 15 catches for like 170 yards.
And
you know?
this dude, I think could easily be a 99 if he had ever had a quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I was about
Terry
to say.
McLaurin is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the game.
Definitely.
I just can't stand him because I like him, but I just can't stand him in fantasy because no quarterback. And
Yeah,
I'm hoping Sam Howell and I don't think it will, but I'm hoping Sam Howell. I know Jacoby Brissett will get, like, he's decent. So I think if Jacoby gets that job, which I think he eventually will, I think he'll actually have a better year. I think this will probably be his best year of his career.
Like, I really think if he flips spots with Stephon Diggs, if you put, say,
Goodness.
Terry McLaurin on the Bills and you put Stephon Diggs on the Commanders, I think it'd be the same thing.
And then this next guy.
Sorry, I was just going to say one thing about Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
He got his nickname Scary Terry for a reason. Remember last year against the Colts?
Mhm.
From now on, for me, he's no doubt Scary Terry because he absolutely because we were just about to at least try to make a run, new head coach, and maybe, get the culture changed. And then Scary Terry came and demoralized the whole Colts season.
I mean,
Exactly.
what a guy! What hands on that guy,
No,
too.
it's
For a
insane.
smaller guy, he can bring it down.
He's the definition of high pointing the football. Like he high
Him
points
and
the
John
football.
Dotson.
Yeah.
John
Exactly.
Dotson's like
Yeah.
that, too.
So,
No
and
kidding.
then another guy I want to talk about is we have two, Amari Cooper and A.J. Brown. Amari Cooper's good at 91. I think that fits him well
He
right
had a
now.
great season last year.
I think 91 fits him well. He's always been around that 90 mark. But this guy right here, this guy should be a 95 plus. I think he is better than I think he's better than D-Hop. I think he's better. Obviously, I think he's better than Terry McLaurin just because of his situation. I think he's the year he had last year. He is a 95, I think. And this is A.J. Brown.
So you think AJ Brown's better than D-Hop?
Yes.
So you think age aside, not taking age into account, if you ask the Eagles, who would you rather have right now?
So the
AJ or
way
D-Hop?
Madden does is they go by last season. A.J. Brown's a 95 overall. I don't know how this is even debated. Like the year he had last year was absolutely he was like the 5th ranked wide receiver last year.
Yeah, he definitely had some like 200-yard games, but then also I always think of like the 40-yard games he had too. Like he had a couple.
Yeah, but the thing is though that if you average that out, it's 100 yards a game.
Yeah, that's not too bad, I guess.
It's more
I think
than
he should definitely be a slight tier above Amari Cooper. Can we agree on that?
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I
Who do
totally
you think?
agree.
Who would you rather have, D-Hop or AJ Brown? Who do you think's better?
Like if I was the Titans' sake and
No,
saying they
maybe
passed
just
on.
who do you think's a better player? Who do you think's a better player? Age aside,
Going into this season,
Yeah.
I'd take A.J. Brown.
you take
over
AJ Brown.
over
Gotcha.
Hopkins.
I respect it. Both
Yeah,
are great.
But I totally agree with you though. Like DeAndre Hopkins, route running,
Yeah.
catching.
Hands. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Put the ball on that guy, he brings it down.
The
But
problem
thing
is
is,
Best in the
though,
league
thing
at
is
that.
though, what you just said though, if AJ Brown catches it after the catch,
He's like a running
AJ Brown's a running. He's Derrick Henry.
No kidding.
He's a running back.
No kidding.
So yeah, that's the wide receivers. So and then I just want to touch on who actually dropped out of the top 10 last year. Mike Evans was number 7. Keenan Allen was number 8. So we had lost 2 in the wide receiver spot, which is actually not too bad. I can't believe Keenan Allen was a top 10 receiver.
Me either.
I mean, it's Keenan Allen. I think he should always be like an 88, 87. I think he's solid.
Mr. Consistent.
Yep. Mike Evans, that makes sense.
Also
he had a rough
Mr.
year last
Consistent.
year.
Yeah.
He had a huge game, though, and that won me a lot of money, though. I'll say
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So I want to get to your opinion on Jake since you weren't here.
Yeah.
And because I got to find the other ones. But I want to get your opinion on some of these like this. So like you have.
Holy cow.
It's a little laggy. Hang on.
You're good.
Okay. So we got Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett. I think these guys are 99 overall.
Here's my thing. I love Myles Garrett 98. Nick Bosa is 100% a 99 overall, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett, I think 98 is fair. You could argue 96, but
I think
Micah Parsons, that's probably fair. 97. I mean, he's going into his
this
third
needs to
year.
be higher.
Ooh, TJ Watt should be higher than. I think he should be about a 96, 97 at least.
This is way too high.
Definitely, he needs.
You're
to be
telling
lower.
me TJ Watt and Von Miller are the same caliber player right now?
I
There's no way.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree 100%.
That's very good.
I like that.
I'm surprised they did it, But that is a very good Max Crosby, 94 overall. That is a very good fit. I'm surprised they gave it to him because he's always been down in the past couple of years, and he's had good years.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they finally gave that man respect. I think that's a little low.
Bosa 91, yeah. I think 94 would probably be fair. I think
he did have a rough year last year,
Ooh.
but
He was hurt.
Talk about a big mover here, Hassan Reddick.
and I like it.
He was phenomenal last season.
He's just such a good speed rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it could have been a product too. That defense.
I said this is too high.
You think so? I think DeMarcus Lawrence is always going to be like a 90 overall.
I don't know why though.
Because
he's great.
Well, he's a phenomenal run stopper.
I know,
That has a lot to do with it.
I know he's a run stopper, but like I just feel like he's hurt a lot as well. And I feel like if they're going. I keep referring to my favorite player, Jonathan Taylor. It just makes me mad. How is this dude not higher than what he is? But you give guys like DeMarcus Lawrence.
It's
DeMarcus Lawrence was great though last year.
We all know this
Is he a
about
Pro Bowler?
Madden, though. Yeah, he
Was he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we just, we always argue. It's just Madden's always recency bias. It doesn't really take skills. It takes skills into account, but it more takes like last season into account.
Mm-hmm.
But.
And what's great is we have a whole entire season for these guys to prove us
Exactly.
wrong or right.
Exactly.
If they're better or worse than what we think, they can prove it to us.
100%.
Now, I want to get to the quarterbacks, and
This is what we all want to know.
Exactly. That is exactly.
Well, actually, does quarterback even matter? We're all just going to use Lamar Jackson, right? Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray.
And Madden,
yeah, and Madden.
Or Michael Vick.
Right, Mike Vick, yeah.
So I'm trying to find.
Although I kind of struggle with left-handed quarterbacks.
I'm actually a big fan of the pocket passers because of the badges that they get.
Yeah, I get that. Like those Hot Route Master badges.
Oh, and the bullet passer or whatever
Right.
it's called. I don't know.
They're crazy. What pass rushers fell out?
So there
Khalil
was
Mack.
like Rashawn Gary,
Rashawn Gary.
And Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan,
And Khalil Mack, I think.
Gotcha.
Which is warranted, I think.
I don't know. For me though, Cam Jordan, man,
Okay, so
he's just always there. It seems like.
So in Madden 24, here's the top 10 quarterbacks. So we have 83. I'm going to start from 10. So
All right.
83 or no. Overall, okay. Gen, okay, whatever that.
Yeah.
All right, so we have 83 Tua Tagovailoa, whatever how you say that.
Tagovailoa.
Yeah. And then you got 9 Kirk Cousins, 84 Aaron Rodgers, 86 at number 8, number 7 Jalen Hurts at 87, and he's Dak Prescott 87 as well at number 6, Justin Herbert number 5 at 88, Lamar Jackson at 91 at number 4, Josh Allen number 3 at 93, Joe Burrow at 95 at number 2, and Patrick Mahomes number 1 at 98.
This is for sure the Madden 24. Can we check that?
Quarterbacks list.
List,
Madden 24. So two things that jump out.
What is this off of? I don't know what this is.
Madden ratings, whatever. So two things that jump out to me. If you'll scroll down just a little bit, we have the camera back there. First off, Aaron Rodgers is going to win MVP this year. He just has the biggest. He just has the biggest chip on his shoulder right now. Even things as little as being an 86 on Madden, that just tells me he's going to win MVP this year. And secondly, look, I'm the biggest Louisville fan you're going to find. All right, I love Louisville. If you tell me that at this point Lamar Jackson's better than Jalen Hurts, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. And you're not going to find a bigger Louisville fan than me.
Especially when you see like Josh Jacobs with the season he had, they gave him a 95.
Exactly.
How is Hurts still under Dak after last
And that's
season?
what I'm saying. Like this.
And I'm a Dak supporter.
Yeah,
I'm the biggest Dak fan in the
I
world.
like Dak. I like Dak, but
Hurts should be in the 90s.
The biggest surprise for me is I think Joe Burrow's right. I think 95 is.
You think so?
He's not the number one
That's
quarterback.
perfect for me.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he's not up there. Patrick Mahomes has to be a 99. I don't. Patrick Mahomes is
the NFL. You could argue.
He is Tom Brady. Like he is
today's Tom Brady. Now that he retired,
this dude wins football. Like he just wins football games. He is a 99. I think this is a very poor decision by Madden to not make this guy 99. He literally is. I don't even know how to describe. He is a 99. How do you not give him a 99? Like what in his game would you not say he's a 99? I mean,
he doesn't have as good a talent as some people.
He can throw submarine arm.
Literally.
Fall into the ground. We've seen him make flip throws. Like, this dude's unreal. I don't know how he's
like Kermit the Frog, too.
Right.
Allen, I think, could be higher. I think Josh Allen could be higher. I think he could be up there with Burrow at 95. Lamar, like you said, I think it's a little – I think he's fine. I think they just need to raise other people.
Yeah.
I honestly think – I think maybe Lamar had a little rough year last year, so maybe upper 80s, 90 overall, maybe not 91. Herbert, I think that's about right. Dak, that's not bad for Dak. I think that's fair. Jalen Hurts
I think
needs
that's
to be
too
higher.
high for Dak, me personally.
I think Jalen Hurts needs to be higher. Aaron Rodgers, I think, needs to be higher. Kirk Cousins, I think, needs to be higher. I think he had a great year last year.
I think he needs to be higher than 84.
Yes, he had a great year last year. And then Tua, I think that's fair. I think this is number 11 is Trevor Lawrence. I didn't mention him. Trevor Lawrence needs to be higher than this. He had a really good year as well.
I think Geno needs to be higher than that after what he did last season.
Geno's number 12 at 80.
I think Jared Goff needs to be higher than Geno.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Jared Goff.
I'm not a big Geno fan.
Yeah.
But
I think Geno's. I think he can be a quarterback. He can be a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. But I mean, I don't think he's better than Goff.
Well, nobody was expecting the Seahawks to do anything.
Right.
Last
so
season.
apparently, this is apparently.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Brock Purdy is not as good as Matt Ryan. So this is as of last year. So Madden, good job. We did it again. Good job, Madden.
Wow.
Brock Purdy is a 72 overall, and Matt Ryan is a 73. So Matt Ryan still is amazing. He's apparently the number 25 ranked quarterback in the NFL. So Colts made a mistake in letting him go.
Right. If only they would have kept Jacoby Brissett.
Daniel Jones is a 75. I don't know about that one.
So my question is, I'm guessing these are actual ratings and not MUT ratings, right? Obviously.
Yeah, they are. That's what it says.
Huh.
Because there wouldn't be 98.
What Perk said, Mahomes is the McGregor of the NFL.
What do we think about that?
I think Mahomes is
I don't know if that's the guy to compare.
I think he's the John Bones Jones of the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think he's flamboyant.
What Perk said there. Mahomes is the McGregor of the NFL.
Who is the McGregor of the NFL?
McGregor of the NFL?
Odell Beckham.
That's a thought.
I think it would probably be like I think it's someone that has a little flat.
For sure.
Jalen Ramsey, like little cocky. He'll let you know about it, like when he gets a stop.
Right.
I think it's someone like it's gonna be someone like
gets in fights.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be someone like that.
Diggs maybe could be.
I could see Stephon Diggs being the McGregor of the NFL.
He's a little chippy for sure.
That's a definitely interesting little.
That'd be an interesting game to play. Like comparisons like that.
We did one of those.
We did one of those a couple weeks ago.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What are we looking into now?
Tight ends.
Tight end rated. So tight end is probably my favorite position on the football field.
Really?
So,
you want to read it too, Jay?
Sure, let's do it. So starting from 10 up, Evan Ingram from the Jaguars. He's an 84. A really big boost there for him in his second year. He got locked up. Just the argument we were making, right above Evan Ingram, David Njoku, 84 as well. So they're tied there. And we talked about that in the last episode. They're on similar kind of. It's like you said, Carson. It's about who gets hurt because they're kind of similar skill levels.
Yeah.
Number 8, interesting. Pat Freiermuth's an 85 for the Steelers. Number 7, Darren Waller, the brand new New York Giant. He's an 86 overall. Kyle Pitts is an 87. At number 5, Dallas Goedert. He kind of had a breakout year last year. Even higher level without Zach Ertz. He's an 89. The brand new Viking, got traded at the trade deadline last year. TJ Hawkinson's a 90 at number 4. Mark Andrews is in 95. Really just your usual top 3. Mark Andrews, 95 at number 3. George Kittle, 96 at number 2. And then, of course, maybe the McGregor of the NFL. Maybe the McGregor of the NFL. Travis Kelce gets that golden number 99 at number 1. What do you guys think about this? Yeah,
I think this is the best position group I've seen so far, most accurate.
For sure.
I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pat Freiermuth at 85 leaves me a little sick to my stomach. I'll be honest about that.
I mean, I think he did show out a little bit last year. But
red zone threat.
Yeah, I think he maybe drop him 1 with the Njoku and Evan Ingram. I think maybe drop him 1 overall. But granted, drop him 1 overall ain't that bad. Like, we could sit here and nitpick all we want, but that's not bad.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Take 3 away from catching and 1 away from blocking?
So I think they hit this right on the head. I think maybe Pitts maybe a little too high because he hasn't had an 87 overall year yet. He had a decent rookie year we talked about. Darren Waller might be a little high too just because of injuries. He had a down year last year, actually, really down year. He had a lot of injuries, but I think the top 5 they hit really well.
I agree.
And a lot of people I think that play fantasy football might be saying, shouldn't Mark Andrews be over Kittle? But obviously this is taking in the full effect of the game. George Kittle, he's basically like a tackle and a tight end at the same time.
I think George Kittle last year, at the last 10 games of the year last year, he proved something.
He was putting 30 points a game.
He was insane. 2 things. Jacksonville's going to be scary. Joey Votto's burner. You're exactly right. Jacksonville, they're going to, like Carson said, it's all up to that O-line, but man, in the skill groups, they're insane.
Yeah, and then so now I want to touch on, this will be the last one we touch on before we get into our game segment. Next is, this is just offensive line. Yeah, offensive line ratings. So I think this is obviously, this changes. I'm a big offensive line person. I think offensive line, defensive line controls football. And so this is a big category. This is probably one of my favorite categories in Madden to look at. I think so. Let's start with number 10. I'll start with this. So we have actually a tie at number 10. We have holy cow, we have like 5 guys tied at number 10. So I'll go ahead and start off. We have Teron Armstead, Miami Dolphins. These are all 92s. I'll tell you when I'm done with the 92s. So we have Armstead, Andrew Thomas, Jason Kelsey, Quentin Nelson, Tristan Wirfs, Joel Bentino. Is that how you say it?
Betonio.
Betonio. Okay, and that's all of those. So those are all 92s. I think. I mean, what's crazy? I think all these guys are like fair. Teron Armstead's good. Andrew Thomas, I think, can maybe be a 90. I know he had a really good year last year.
I was going to say put Quentin Nelson down, put Andrew Thomas up.
So
easy. After the year last year.
Easy.
That's nice.
Jason Kelsey is 95 plus. I think he's a 96 overall. He should be. Quentin Nelson, I think they got it right where he is. This dude, he was still a Pro Bowler last year. People are forgetting that. I mean, just because our line was bad, he wasn't bad.
Right.
So he didn't have a All-Pro year, but he was still a Pro Bowler. He keeps his streak alive. He's been to like 6 straight Pro Bowlers, so good for him. And then Joel, I think he could be higher. I think he's a very solid left guard. I think he needs to be higher.
Yeah. For me though, offensive line, like in Madden, like it's got to be so hard for those guys to like rate, just because like what offensive lineman is telling them who deserves what rating? You know, like also, it's all about scheme.
And it also helps, like when you're on the Eagles, when you have Kelsey, Lane Johnson. I mean, how good technically is Landon Dickerson? How technically good is Isaac Samala?
Yeah, how much does it have to do with the guys around them?
Because look at the Colts when they had Braden Smith, Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson, but look, Glowinski. So like certain stuff like that, like I think Eric Fisher, like those, I think it actually plays a factor. Like chemistry plays a big factor, and scheme. Yeah.
You think that, like, kind of staying in that vein? Do you think, going back to the quarterbacks, you think that might be why Jalen Hurts is so low, because they took into account how much talent he had around him?
See, but the thing is, technically, they said that they're going off last year's. So no, I don't think so. I think they should take into factor, but they don't. They say they don't.
I'm just so surprised Jalen Hurts. Sorry to backtrack. He's that low. Just because Madden's all about, like, they love, like, hype. They love, you know what I mean? They just love hype. So it's so odd, but let's get back on track.
Yeah, so, and then I want to talk about Tristan Wirfs. Tristan Wirfs could be higher than this, I think, too. He's very good.
You can't tell me he's not one of the top 5 offensive linemen.
All right, so now I'm jumping top 5. So 5, we have Chris Lindstorm from Atlanta Falcons. Very underrated center. I believe he's a center, right?
He's the highest.
Is he a guard or is he a center?
He's the highest paid guard.
I thought he was a center for some reason.
I think he was at some point in his career, but I think they moved him to guard.
Okay. So Lindstorm, he just got paid recently.
He's the highest paid.
Yep, got paid. Lermy Tunsil, very good left tackle. Lane Johnson, right tackle. He's the best right tackle in the game. Trent Williams, 98 overall, also as with Lane Johnson. Trent Williams is the best left tackle in the game. And then the lone 99, the guy that says, I want paid or I'm going to sit out, and that is Zach Martin. And don't blame the dude. The dude is like, I don't know if you saw the paying grades. He is like $15 million behind the highest paid because he got paid so long ago. Smart of the Dallas Cowboys to pay their linemen so long ago. But the thing is, now it's catching up to him. It's like, all right, we need to pay our guy. And I think you'll see the Cowboys definitely make the move because Zach Martin is literally a game changer.
He is a game changer at that guard spot. We're getting into semantics here. We're really nitpicking, but man, it's tough not to call Trent Williams and Lane Johnson both 99s.
Exactly.
So hard not to at least give them that honor, especially to me, Trent Williams. I mean, he's unbelievable.
Monster.
But like I said, we're nitpicking, and we only know so much about O-line play.
Exactly.
We only know so much about O-line play.
Anything on Zach Martin? Anybody else?
Keep it simple. Do the right thing. Pay the man.
Get
it over with.
That's all you got to do.
Pay the man.
Yep.
So now I want to touch on. Since we're talking about the Cowboys line. Is it time for Tyron Smith to go? Like, I'm being serious. Like this, he's obviously when he's in there, he's very, very good. But the thing is, with this dude, he's kind of taking away a lot of money when he's not playing every year. So I feel like as a fan, like I feel like, all right, you got to take a pay cut, or it's time. I feel like it's time to go because this is to the point now. Like you need to pay Micah Parsons. You got to pay Trevon Diggs. Like you got to pay a lot of these guys. And when you got a guy that's not even playing he's not even playing half the year. He's not even doing that. I think what I mean. It comes down to decision to make. I think he's one of those guys. It's like because he gets paid quite a bit. He's one of those guys. That's like, all right, is he gone?
Yeah, I think his time is definitely coming. I think you got to keep him around while we still have him because he's still a fantastic tackle. Like you got to keep him around, in my opinion. Just how good he is when he's healthy. We already have started drafting more offensive linemen. I think he's going to be off the team if I had to guess within the next 2 years.
By the end of his contract, you think?
Yeah, he had a long contract actually.
So
I don't know.
He had a left tackle contract. You know those contracts.
A little surprising to me though. He is an 89 overall. Still, just because he is good when he's on the field. He's one of the best left tackles on the field. It's just he's never on the field. He has literally been hurt. He has not played a full season. I mean, I remember going back to when I was in junior high. This guy wasn't playing all the time. So I think
it's a fair argument.
He just needs to stay healthy.
He's just so good. I'm sure his contract's so big that they can't do anything with him. I mean, I'm sure a team would love to trade for him, but they don't want to cut him. How do you say with yourself if you cut a guy like that?
Exactly.
So they'll probably just keep him around. He's probably going to play out his contract and either retire or go to a different team.
Exactly. All right, so you ready to get into the game?
You just want to do the original idea?
Yeah, and let's just stay here. I'll just stay here, yeah.
Okay. That brings us to today's game where we're going to have a little back and forth guessing.
Gotcha.
Carson and Jacob are going to be trying to guess the top 10 NFL players from last season in jersey sales.
Okay, do you want to do whiteboard?
If that helps, yeah.
So there's one under you.
Perfect.
It's right under you.
Oh, can I see it?
Gotcha.
Awesome. So top 10 in jersey sales.
And this is what sport?
NFL.
Okay.
NFL.
All right. So should we just how should we do this? Should we just kind of draft them? He says one, then I say one?
Yeah, you trade picks.
Okay. So Jake, you can start. And then I'll write 1 through 10.
Well, let's talk about the McGregor of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, you had to know he was going to be on there, but he's not even in the top 5. He is number 7.
So this is from this year or
this past season.
Tom Brady.
2022-23. Tom Brady is not on there.
Okay. Interesting.
No Tom Brady.
And this is last year.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady. Okay.
Jeez.
So what was Patty Mahomes?
7.
Number 7.
Okay.
7. All right. So Pat Mahomes, Tom. You guessed Tom Brady. I'm gonna go with.
Huh.
I'm trying to think big markets. Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald is also not on the list.
So.
All right, am I overcomplicating? I mean, no Brady, no Aaron Donald.
So I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey, best running back in the league.
Christian McCaffrey is number 6.
Okay. At least I got one. So we're 1-1.
Interesting.
So count your points when you get one.
I am. Yeah, I'm putting a dot next to
Derrick
mine.
Henry.
Derrick Henry is not on the list.
Okay. This is very difficult. This is harder than I thought.
I know.
Justin Jefferson. He had to be.
Justin Jefferson is number 10.
Wow.
Just made it.
I'll take it, though. That's a point for me.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is number 8, right behind Patrick
It's crazy.
Mahomes.
We haven't even cracked the top 5.
I know. I'm just trying to think of popular players on each team. Who has loyal? Travis Kelce.
Not on the list.
Popular. I'm just trying to think of He's a 99 overall. Not on the list. Aaron Donald was a 99. He ain't on the list.
I can't believe Don because of LA. That's what surprised me about him not being on the list. Let's go with popular players in the NFL.
This is insane.
This is crazy.
Top 10 in jersey sales.
Man, I'm drawing.
Hey, if you're watching this, type in the
yeah,
chat.
type a guess. My goodness.
Give us some help.
No kidding. Let me guess. Stephon Diggs.
Not on the list.
No Diggs. Perk says Hurts. We already said Hurts.
Yep, we already got Hurts.
Hurts was number 8.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow is number 5.
Joe Burrow. What?
First in the top 5.
Let's go. Votto burner. Let's go. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. After this game, we'll address those comments because I find those very interesting.
Yeah.
I find those very interesting.
You got some help on there.
I don't know if I want to guess that one.
Go for it.
All right. You know what? I'll take you, Perk. Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is not on the list.
Hey, he's helping you quite a bit.
Yeah, I know. It makes sense because he's a popular player, but
I'm surprised he wasn't on
yeah.
So I'm going to go with – so actually, Colts had the second most in fans last year. Actually, in the stadium, it's like 102%.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor.
Not on the list.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, Dak.
Dak is not on the list.
America's team?
So I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb is not on the list.
So the Cincinnati Reds are America's team now.
Yeah,
you forgot.
I guess.
Yeah,
dude.
Jonathan India is on the list.
I guess.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is not on the list.
Okay, this is actually becoming insane. So we have
So far, yeah.
we have 8, 10, 5, 6, 7. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
So yeah, we have Joe Burrow at 5, McCaffrey at 6.
I'll give you guys a
Pat
hint
at 7.
and say there are no more running backs on the list.
Okay. I'm gonna say. Let's see. I'm gonna say Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase is not on the list.
Okay.
Final one. L.A. Herbert.
Herbert is not on the list.
Okay.
I'm trying to guess like markets.
Yeah,
Well, the Chargers have a terrible fan base.
They do. They
have,
that's
like,
true.
no fans,
That's
so.
true, I guess.
I'll go with you on this one. Devontae Adams.
That's a good guess.
Devontae Adams not on the list.
Oh well. So you know what makes you feel better? We're not. We suck. But
Right.
So does our
Everybody else
comments.
does. No kidding. No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Russ.
You're missing a very big star, in my opinion. An obvious one.
Oh, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, number 2.
Yeah.
That was the one you're missing.
I said Diggs already.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna say TE University. George Kittle.
George Kittle is not on the list.
Thank you. Lamar.
There are no tight ends on the list. Lamar is not on the list either.
Gotcha.
Who is the number 1? This is actually insane. Like, I feel like this should be a no-brainer.
I think I know who it is.
Really?
I think so.
Let's see.
Yeah, guess that one, Carson.
Yeah, I saw
Thanks,
that.
Perk.
Let's go. Did we already say Tyreek Hill?
Good guess.
You did not. He is not on the list, though.
I think I know number 1, baby. Jalen Ramsey.
Not on the list.
Maybe I don't know number 1.
Okay. Like, have we said any of the teams out of all the?
Joey
Yeah.
Votto's burner. Great guess.
Oh yeah, that is true.
And I would love to have a Tucker jersey.
That'd be cool. Justin Tucker jersey. Yeah, that would be cool.
Let's see. So there's no tight ends left, no running backs. I already said.
You want me to tell you there are 2 quarterbacks? What are we missing?
We're missing 1, 3, 4,
And
9.
there are
1, 3, 4,
2 quarterbacks, 2 defensive players. Yeah, 2 defensive players.
Oh. TJ Watt.
9. Mm-hmm.
Nope.
I mean,
All right. You know what? I think that one was a good one. The only reason I'm going to say Russ is because he was on a new team, so a lot of new jerseys. Russ Wilson.
Not on the list.
Good guess.
I don't know though. Hey, but there hasn't been any count. Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons is on the list
Number
at
1?
number 4.
Oh,
Let's
wow.
go.
Yeah, you just got to think like America's team. That's kind of why Parsons makes sense.
Well,
I couldn't believe Dak wasn't on there.
I said CD. Someone had to be
Yeah.
on the Cowboys.
Yeah, so it's not going to be Dalton Schultz. All right. Well, let's see. There's another quarterback on there.
Uh-huh.
Trying to
2, I think.
Good
2
quarterbacks.
two
Yeah.
quarterbacks on there.
Oh, Tua.
Tua is not on there.
Okay. And this is this upcoming season or last season? This is
Last season.
Last season. And Tom Brady, that is actually mind blowing to me.
Tom Brady, I couldn't believe
That
Tom Brady's
that
not
threw
on.
me off.
Maybe just because many people already have a Brady jersey.
Maybe.
Yeah, that I will say that's a good point.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are guys that are either on like new teams or had recently had breakouts. So a lot of people are just not buying the jerseys because a lot like Tom Brady.
Kind of like a hint. So
Yeah.
like a guy I don't
think you're
like.
about to.
Geno Smith.
No,
Sweet.
Geno Smith is not.
All right.
Well, he had a breakout year.
Here we
last
go.
year.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is on there, number 3.
So there's a quarterback and a defense player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Both the players you are missing already have a teammate on the list. Both of them.
Ooh, good hint.
There's no way.
I think you're.
Is it Brock Purdy?
It is. Brock Purdy's number 9.
Yeah, because he had that little. That's ridiculous. That's awesome, though.
Really? He was number 9?
Mm-hmm.
So that narrowed it down for you, though. You got a defensive player.
Yeah, and I think it might be their teammate too. That's what I'm thinking. I want to say one guy, but I don't have what it takes to say him, so I'm going to say another guy. Nick Bosa, number 1.
Not on the list.
Not on the list.
Okay.
So number 1 is a defensive player.
And he has a teammate on the list already.
And he has a teammate. He's either teammates with Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Micah Parsons, Joe Burrow, McCaffrey, Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, or Justin Jefferson.
So I'm gonna, and it's number 1 player.
Number 1.
How
is it a surprise or is it like, oh, that makes sense? Okay.
It depends on who you ask.
Interesting.
What about you? What do you think? Was it like? Did it shock you?
Not at all.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna stay here all day, so I'll just say I guess Josh Allen. I know that's not right. From the Jags.
Oh.
From the Jags.
Yeah.
No. The number 1. That'd be funny.
Hey, you never know. That's like literally all their defense
All right,
besides Trevon Walker.
So a defensive player and his teammates with these guys. I'm gonna guess.
I think I know it.
I'm gonna guess Von Miller.
Not on the list.
Fred Warner.
Not on the list.
Oh. Trevon Diggs.
Nope.
Are we insane?
Oh, Chris Jones.
Nope.
I'm just trying to think of people's
Chris
best.
Jones wouldn't be higher than Mahomes. That'd be ridiculous.
Well, heck, it's ridiculous. A lot of these people are higher than Mahomes.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a big Trevor Lawrence
And
fan.
it's kind of a cool jersey. It's a cool jersey to have. Man, are we dumb? You're gonna tell us, and we'll be like, how do we not guess that, aren't we? I don't know what to tell you, dude. I guess I'm gonna guess Fletcher Cox.
No.
DeMar Hamlin.
Oh,
Yep. Shout out to Joey Votto's burner up there.
Let's go.
DeMar Hamlin.
really good
Let's
point.
go. I can't believe you didn't look up there on the TV.
I know. That's a good point.
Let's go.
Teammate
So I
Josh
got
Allen.
1,
got
2,
four.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice.
Well, and about half of them are from
What's
our
crazy to me
comments.
just how much it matters. Like you either got to be like you got to have a good story or you got to be like a breakout guy. You can't be.
Yeah, he had a good story.
Yeah, you did have a good story.
Man, we talked about that. When we were talking about the ESPYs, Jake. It was a good story. The ESPY segment that was
really
good.
That was really good.
But yeah, that was. So now let's go through these comments. Let's have a comment review real
Let's
quick.
do it.
So let's go through. So let's go here. Mahomes. So Perk says Mahomes is the McGregor of the NFL. I disagree. I'm sticking with Jalen Ramsey.
You're saying Jalen Ramsey?
Mhm.
I'm saying Travis Kelce. I'm saying Travis
What do you
Kelce.
think?
I'll say. I think Travis Kelce is a really good pool because like the fashion is almost the same. But
Well, to
I'll
me-
say Diggs.
Diggs, that's a
Stephon?
good point. I just feel like Travis
guessing.
Kelce, since they
Stephon?
won like this Super Bowl, he's become like more of like a face of the league than he's ever been. You know, he used to just be an amazing tight end. Now he's becoming more of like the face of the league, similar to how McGregor's like the face of.
And then we have
NBA.
Joey Votto's burner says Jacksonville is going to be scary. I totally agree. I mean, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
They will be really good number 2 spot in the AFC South.
Absolutely.
You guys did have Jacksonville winning the division. They will. I had them as number 2, so I think they will look good in the 2 spot.
Yeah.
Barron said hi. What's up, Barron? Then this is all guesses.
Well, McGregor equals Mahomes. Burrow equals Poirier. Burrow and Poirier, really good pull. Poirier is my favorite fighter. I love Poirier. So I see what you kind of did there with that rivalry, but I think they have a lot of the same mannerisms, and they're both like great at what they're at, but they're not like they're kind of held back from like one thing, you know, and that thing's like Mahomes or McGregor.
If you were a fighter, what fighter would you be like?
Probably John Bones Jones. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'd probably be
Bo Nickel.
yeah, Bo. Oh yeah, I'd be Bo Nickel, no question.
yeah, I think like it's hard to like actually like know like predict like who is the McGregor. It's just so hard because
right.
there's McGregor's McGregor because there's only one McGregor. Like
Right.
you know what I mean by that? Like he's so iconic that like
Yeah.
that's what makes him so different.
It's his antics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the things he does. But yeah, I definitely see what you're saying.
So now, are we ready to? So now that the game is over, are we ready to? Actually, you guys want to do one more game?
I'm down.
You want to do one
I
more
love
game? I have
to.
another game. It's another jersey sale game. Remember?
Let's do it.
Might as well do it.
Let's
I have
do
it written down.
Get me involved this time.
Yep.
Heck
So today's
Hmm.
so we have another jersey game. This is of the NFL. So
The last one was in
you
the
will
NFL
need.
too.
Yep, you will need or NBA.
Oh, NBA.
NBA.
Is it just top 10 NBA jerseys?
Yes. So it is the top 10 most sold NBA jerseys.
Hmm.
And so, Jaden, you can have first pick.
LeBron. I mean, you gotta take the obvious ones. I feel
Yes, LeBron is number 6.
6.
Jokic.
Jokic. Nope.
What?
Nope.
And that brings back to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ja Morant, is he on there?
John Morant. John Morant is number 3.
And if you buy
Really?
his,
He's number 3? Holy cow.
if you buy his jersey, it comes with a loaded clock. So
Oh wow.
Well, that's why I bought one.
yeah, absolutely. All right,
Hmm.
Embiid, MVP, Embiid.
Embiid, no.
This is insane.
No.
I guess I need to quit guessing big men. Because I guess Jokic and Embiid. I mean, if it's not those two, what big man?
There's no centers.
No centers?
No
That
centers.
is insane.
Thanks for giving me that. Huh?
Put a little respect on the center.
Tatum's got to be on there. Celtics
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Number
already
8.
Number 8.
Hmm.
Good guess.
Tatum. I'm 3 for 3. Okay.
I guess an AD is considered a center. AD. Nope.
He's not on there.
No AD.
Luca?
Gosh dang it. Number 1.
No Luca.
No Luca?
What?
No Luca.
Interesting.
How many Kentucky boys on the list?
Devin Booker.
Oh, that's a good point.
Booker's number 4.
That's got to be on there.
Got some help from the comments. See how many Kentuckys there are. There's only one Kentucky boy,
Well, got him.
and that's
What
it, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Kyrie, just because he switched teams?
Yeah, that's a good guess.
No Kyrie
Okay.
either?
No Kyrie.
Interesting. Fascinating.
Mm.
KD.
That's
Suns
probably
KD
on
jersey.
Number 7, KD.
What about Giannis?
Giannis is number 2.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like running out of ideas somehow.
Oh, Dame.
Nope.
I think he's too long a tenured at the Trailblazers. He's
Yeah,
been
no,
there too long.
Everybody
No
already
Dame.
has the jersey.
Yeah, that wants it.
Huh. Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler is number 9.
Good guess.
after a run, like they had probably.
Right. Here's an interesting guess. Barnyard Kobe Austin Reeves.
Nope.
No.
So I can tell you this: 10's going to be difficult.
Okay.
10's like I wouldn't have guessed 10. We all know him. Obviously, we all know him, but like,
Is it a Nick?
Nope.
Not a Nick.
Number 5. I'm just trying to give you hints. 5. This is you. You should get number 5. 1, you should definitely get. So that's your 5's kind of hard to say. I kind of don't really know what to say about 5. 1, you should definitely get. Like, it's a no-brainer.
Curry.
Curry's number 1.
Yep. Little kids love Curry.
Yeah.
So do big kids, but little kids really love
Curry's number 1. 5, like I said, we all know him.
Tyrese Halliburton?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Correct position. I'll say that.
Point guard.
That was actually my number 10 guess, but
Number 10. Number 10's a shooting guard.
Huh.
So 5's point guard, 10 is shooting guard.
Fox. De'Aaron Fox.
Nope.
James Harden.
Nope. Let's see here.
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
I can't even think of point guards for some reason.
Ooh.
You seem pretty confident over there.
I think I have a good guess. I don't feel very confident in it, but I think it's a good guess.
Is JB on there?
Nope.
No.
It's JB, Jalen
Jalen
Brown.
Brown.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Nope.
Ooh.
Wow,
That's a good guess,
cool.
though.
I mean, he broke
It's a good
out
guess.
last year. He broke
It's a good
out
guess.
last year, and Thunder is kind of a cool colored jersey.
So I gave you the hint last time, so I'll give you another guess, and I'll say the hint for you next.
So we only have 5 and 10.
5 and 10.
5
You
and
said
10.
10's a tough one.
10's a tough one. You
Interesting.
probably won't get.
Gotcha.
So it's a strange player. Right, strange.
It's not like
You just
it shocked me. It would shock you guys too.
Gotcha.
That's what I want to say.
Is it like Zach LaVine?
It's kind of that caliber player though, but no.
That caliber player?
Yeah, but so the hint for number 5 is oh wow, there's a really good hint now. Anyway, well you'll see what I mean here in a second. So
I think I have a good guess for number 10.
so number 5, the hint is think of like kids that like love like who is like a flashy player. That is what I want to say.
I have a guess for number 10.
Okay.
Domas Sabonis.
No.
Dang it.
Well, it's a shooting guard and point guard, right? You said?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it wouldn't be Sabonis.
Domas Sabonis.
I'm going to take my comment cues and go LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, that's why I said, oh wow, there's a
That's
really
number
good
5?
hint. That's why I said that. There's a really good hint. Yeah, LaMelo Ball is number 5.
That is a good
That's what I was saying. He's like flashy,
that
like
makes sense.
kids love him.
Number 10. Anybody in the comments have a guess at number 10? A weird player.
So I'm just gonna shout this out there. It is. He just went to a new team. I'll say that he just went to a new team, and like it's one of those things. Like it was a headliner. Okay, that's pretty.
Like, did he go in the off season or in the middle of the season last season?
Off season this year?
CP3?
Nope.
It's a shooting guard.
Oh, it's a shooting guard. Why do I keep getting that wrong?
It's a shooting guard / small forward, but mainly shooting guard. He made headlines this offseason. He's what started the offseason for the NBA. That's a
Zion and Mariah Mills?
Oh,
no, not that.
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal. That's number 10.
What team's he on now? Oh, he's on the Suns.
That
Holy cow.
he started the offseason.
I'm on the sports podcast.
Bradley Beal.
He was the highest. He was in the top 10. That's crazy.
That's a good guess. Who guessed Beal? Somebody guessed Beal up there, didn't they? Joey Votto's burner. Really good guess.
See, but like that's what I was saying. Like it surprised me.
I think NBA was a little bit easier. Just because it's more stars.
Yeah,
Like,
the
NBA really
stars
focuses on their stars.
clear.
You know?
But yeah, so doubled the games up. So now it is time for NFC North. So it's time to give our NFC North talk and our predictions. So this is our second division in the NFC. So we have obviously the NFC North is Chicago, the Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, and the Minnesota Vikings. So a lot of big question marks on some of the teams. Obviously, a couple teams have some high potential. Some of them have some potential they don't know about with like new quarterbacks.
Right.
So let's go ahead and start off. We're going to start with the Chicago Bears. So with the Chicago Bears, what do you guys think about the Chicago Bears going into this year?
Well, when I'm looking at the Chicago Bears, I'm really looking at them to take another step up, just because we already kind of saw the flashes last year, and then you just surround Fields with a better offensive line. You get him a receiver like DJ Moore, who I think that's just what he needed, and now he can go out there and he can be a passer, actually. Last year he was a lead on the ground, but still didn't have much in the passing game. I think if we can get DJ Moore to bring him up to a slightly above average passer, even average passer, this team could easily take the division. Because I think if you look at this division compared to the ones that we've done, there's no real clear favorite, I don't think. Maybe the Lions. But, I think the Bears, if Justin Fields comes out and he passes the ball, DJ Moore connects with him, they could take this division.
That's a great point. And then I think defensively, they got some good players, but I think the big thing about defensively is Carson and I know this as Colts fans. Matt Eberflus, that dude can coach a defense.
Mm-hmm.
Not only scheme wise, but like he's like the type of coach that gets the most out of their players. So I think that I think that they made. I think that he's not going to get players that don't fit his scheme.
Mm-hmm.
We saw so many times the Bears, when Eberflus was the coach of the Colts, we saw him so many times skip on better players to get players that are going to fit his scheme. So for me, it's only year 2 of him, so maybe he doesn't have like the greatest players in there, but the big thing for him is definitely his scheme. Those 4 down linemen on that scheme.
And so, like I always say, offensive line, this is a big question mark for this team going forward. They return guys like Cody Whitehair, who's been the leader of that team for a while at the center position. But, the offensive line is a big question mark still. Justin Fields is looking to have a really good another good year. Running backs is a big question mark there. They have a 3-headed monster that it's really hard to know who's even going to be the lead guy to start the year. Receivers, they really did help Justin Fields in that way, though. Went out and got DJ Moore, like Jaden said. Darnell Mooney's returning and Chase Claypool's returning. So they helped him out there. Defensively, you touched on Eberflus. Eberflus can coach a defense. Mm-hmm. We've seen that at the Colts. He even did it really good he did good with the Bears last year.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, they didn't win very many games, but their offense was terrible. So this defense returned a lot of their guys. They actually even got guys like Tremont Edmonds, who's a phenomenal pickup. I think he's very underrated. And they got TJ Edwards. So he got his linebackers.
That TJ Edwards pickup, I love that pickup. He is such a good run stopper. So underrated.
Yeah.
So underrated.
So he got his linebackers. Eberflus, as you know, Jake, he is a linebacker. Like he loves linebackers.
Like athletic linebackers to stop.
So he got that for him.
Noah Sewell too. They got in the draft.
But one big question mark for their defense though is their D line. Their D line, I think they had Robert Quinn last year, who actually somehow is still good in the NFL. Did he officially retire? Does anybody know?
I'm
not sure.
Because for some odd reason he was like 50 years old, but still getting 12 sacks every year. But yeah, so this team's young. Kyler Gordon, they're returning him as a corner. He had a really good year for a rookie season. So this team, I think, is a big question mark going into the year. I really do think so. I don't. Who knows what to expect?
We have Eddie Jackson just came out today, said he's going to put up one of the greatest safety seasons of all time.
Wow, that is not a bold prediction at all by him.
Yeah, wow.
But I like what you said about it. The linebackers, Eberflus got those athletic linebackers that fit his mold. And then I'm excited to see Jaquan Brisker this year. He was a beast last year, so he should be pretty awesome this year. Moving on to what some may argue is the favorite in the division. They play up there in Detroit. They're hard-nosed. They eat kneecaps. The Detroit Lions really took a big step forward last year. And what most people are excited about is their offense.
Man.
Absolutely. Come on, man. So either one of you want to talk about their offense?
Go ahead, Jay.
I will. What really sticks out to me is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already, since he came into the league, really, he's been getting kind of compared to Cooper Kupp, which I don't think he's that same caliber player quite, but he's been really good. Demands 10 targets every single game. He's that kind of guy. Absolutely dominant out of the slot. Might not be a big play threat, but he's always open. And I think you're looking at Jameson Williams being suspended. Hawkinson got shipped out to Minnesota. I think if he's going to have a Cooper Kupp type season, this would be the one right here. And I really think the offense is going to run through him and those elite running backs back there.
Yeah, and so I want to touch on their offense too. So the offense, you already mentioned Williams is suspended. I think that's actually going to play a big factor in to start the year. They did bring in Marvin Jones, who somehow doesn't age, but Marvin Jones is solid. Josh Reynolds. They actually made a trade today, and getting Denzel Mims from the Jets, young talent, hasn't got much opportunity in the NFL.
Not much of a separator.
So, but I think. Who knows about him? He still hasn't played much, so I think maybe with different coaches he can turn into something. He was a high prospect in college. Offensive line, one of the best in the NFL. You said, their running backs, elite running backs, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Look for Gibbs to be running wide receiver, slot receiver, and obviously I think a big addition is Sam Laporta. I think Sam Laporta will have a really good year. And anything on their offense, Jake?
I love what they're doing. You guys talked about Gibbs. You talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown. They kind of went away from they have a lot of positionless players, which I really like. They have more weapons. And I think Jared Goff, he has what it takes to distribute the ball and get in the right people's hands.
Yeah, the offense is set up perfectly for him to just dump the ball. He's got guys that break tackles. And Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta is probably the best tackle-breaking tight end. You got Gibbs, fantastic receiver.
And you said Amon-Ra is kind of like a Cooper Kupp. For some reason I've always seen this ever since he blew up a couple years ago. I just see Julian Edelman. I really do. I just feel like he's placed slot receiver. He runs little stick routes. He runs slants. I feel like he gets the 10 targets a game. I feel like he's just always open. Yeah, I just feel like for some reason, I see Julian Edelman and Amon-Ra. Prime Julian already. I just see him already as that. And I don't know if I'm going as high as you are. I'm not going to say Cooper Kupp yet.
I don't think he'll hit that type of level. That's pretty hard to hit.
Yeah, I totally see a Julian Edelman. I just feel like you'll see a Julian Edelman for him for the next long time. I think he'll be a Detroit Lion for a while. I think they'll lock him up. He'll be an Edelman for a good time for the Detroit Lions.
You got to be happy for Jared Goff, though. Like how McVay just kind of threw him aside, and now he's in this high-flying offense. He's got Jameson Williams, when he comes back, is going to be able to take the top off of defense, an electric player. And then you got Amon-Ra working underneath. You got such an elite talent in Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. So a lot to work with there. Got to be happy for him.
Yeah, and then so now I want to touch on their defense. They got they did bring in a big player. Isaiah Buggs, very big player for this defense.
He's big,
I'm just kidding. But they did bring him in from 49ers. But Aiden Hutchins is looking for a year too, another good year. He had a really solid year last year. Who won Defensive Player of the Year? Was it Sauce? I think it was Sauce.
Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah. And
was it Aiden Hutchinson?
No, it wasn't Aiden because he was number 2. That's what I was saying. I think he had, without Sauce, he would have won the Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie. So I think Aiden Hutchinson, I think you'll see him climb a big ladder this year, and I think you'll see him be very solid, very dominant. Alex Anzalone, very good tackler. Jack Campbell, he's a hard-nosed player. The Campbell. If you have that last name, you got to be a hard-nosed.
Malcolm Rodriguez was amazing last year, too.
He was a great tackler, just like Alex Anzalone. Corners, they played really well last year. They got Cam Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley. And they got a couple new guys. C.J. Gardner-Johnson's a big player for them. Jumping off track here real quick, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is Conor McGregor of the NFL.
Honestly, yeah.
He kind of
he wants smoke with everybody.
Yeah, so that is actually Conor McGregor, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But anything on their defense?
Mm-hmm.
Anything, Jaden?
Not a big defensive guy.
Okay, they also have probably the best punter in the NFL. Yeah. Jack Fox. I just want to go ahead and give him a shout out.
Definitely.
So moving on, the next team we have is the Green Bay Packers. So the Green Bay Packers is the team I was referring to as what are we going to look like this year? They have a really good roster. Their defense is supposed to be top 10. So what is their offense going to look like? Is Jordan Love going to be a guy?
Well, yeah, like you said, how do you tell? Jordan Love got drafted, I think, back in 2020, and he's played 2 games since then. So I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you like I know who he is. I just don't. I mean, what do we realistically expect? But I will say, if he does play like a first-round quarterback with the talent that he has around him, with this offensive line that's above average when healthy, 2 good running backs in the backfield, some up-and-coming receiver talent, good defense, this could very well be a good team, but it's just all a big question mark right now.
Absolutely. They still have David Bakhtiari at left tackle. He's protecting that blind side for Jordan Love.
Kind of like Tyron Smith.
Exactly right. Elton Jenkins there at guard. They have John Runyon. I mean, they don't have a terrible line, especially the left side's really good. But I think another thing that's really exciting about this team is their young receivers between Christian Watson and Romeo Dubes. It'll be fun to see how they connect with Jordan Love. But like you said, Jaden, it all depends on what is Jordan Love going to do this season.
I say this. I think you'll see a lot with this team offensively. You're going to see like a lot like what it was last year. Like it's going to be a lot of running the ball, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon show, and then look to see a lot of like bootlegs. Look to see a lot of play action, and let these receivers fly down the field and let Jordan Love show his arm off. I think you're going to see a lot of that. I think this run game is going to be really good this year for the Packers and it has to be if this team's going to be successful. So look for them to run the ball a lot.
A name I want to touch on real quick though is Luke Musgrave. I think he's probably my favorite tight end out of this draft class, which is a lot of good ones, but he's a great tight end.
And then now I want to touch on the defense real quick. Kenny Clark, actually a guy I saw that was not in like the top 10 of Madden ratings, so I was a little surprised about that. Kenny Clark is one of the most underrated interior fronts in the NFL. Very good player. Devontae Wyatt, he was a rookie last year, right?
Yeah.
So he was a high draft pick for
Older
them.
guy from Georgia, I believe.
Yeah, and he had a decent year last year. Look, hopefully big things out of him this year. Preston Smith is back. Devondre Campbell, Quay Walker.
Quay Walker's got something to prove.
Yeah,
he screwed him out of the playoffs.
Jair Alexander, Rasul Delvis. That dude just kept getting interceptions, I felt like, last year. So this team, I feel like this defense brought a lot of the same guys back. Joe Barry was their defense coordinator, so they return the defense coordinator. Look for this defensive look for this defense to still be good. Offense is the big question mark. And then obviously they have Rich Bisaccia as the special teams coach. Special teams. Ooh, did you guys know Mason Crosby's gone? Did not know that.
Dang.
But they did return Pat O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Huh. Did he retire?
He must.
He was old. So.
Yeah, he was.
He had some
good for him. Good job, Mason.
Hey,
good career.
Great career.
Great career. So now, the last and final team of this division is the Minnesota Vikings. So, what do you guys think about the Minnesota Vikings going into this year?
Well, I think all the signs tell us that they're going to be a pretty pass-heavy team. Cook's out of there. They don't bring in another running back, so Alexander Madison's looking like their RB1. Which I don't know if that's good or not, but I do know they have the best receiver in football and one of the best tight ends in football, and T.J. Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson. So they should be airing the ball out with that talent there. Jordan Addison, he recently got in trouble, but I really like his talent. So, yeah, I mean, Kirk is a guy. He might not be the best quarterback in the league, but he's going to get the ball to those guys. And, yeah, they should be an above-average pace offense, but I'm not sure how good they will be.
Yeah, and then Jake, anything on the offense?
No, obviously revolved around Justin Jefferson. He's the best wide receiver in the league, and he's going to get his. But a wide receiver can only take you so far.
Exactly.
Right. So it's going to be up to Kirk. But it's exciting to see. There's a lot of returners on that offense. Obviously, they lost the great Dalvin Cook, but it'll be interesting to see where they go.
Yeah, and so like you guys touched on Justin Jefferson, obviously, I'm big on Jordan Addison. I think he obviously I don't know what's going to happen after his going 140 miles per hour in a speeding ticket. So I don't know what's going to happen there. KJ Osborne's back. I think their offensive line is really good. I think it's very underrated. Darisaw and Ezra Cleveland, Garrett Bradbury, Ed Ingram, and Brian O'Neill. I know they just signed O'Neill actually from the Raiders, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Very good pickup. Kind of solidified their line. Kirk Cousins was a guy last year. Kirk O'Chains, hopefully he brings it back.
Right.
TJ, you guys already talked about him. Best fullback in football besides Juszczyk. He's second. So second best fullback in football, CJ Ham. So good for him. They got him back. Defensively, they got Dean Lowry. Amazing. I mean, great pickup.
Pretty mediocre.
Yeah, mediocre guy. Harrison Phillips, Daniil
Their
Hunter.
defense is rough.
Jordan Hicks had a really good year for the Cardinals, actually. He was a leading tackler. I think he was actually one of the leading tacklers in the NFL.
And they did get Davenport.
They drafted this
Mekhi
Blackman. Harrison Smith returned. I think they drafted him just the other year, 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
They got Byron Murphy too.
And they got Byron Murphy, yeah. So this defense did improve. That was why they kind of struggled last year, is their defense.
Right.
So they looks like they went out and got some veterans, guys that's been there, been very good at their position. So and they returned their special teams. So this team, I think, is a scary team going forward.
Have either of you guys watched the quarterback documentary on Netflix?
No,
I
I
have
haven't
not.
seen it.
I haven't watched it either, but I've heard a lot of people saying, like, after they watched it, they're big fans of Kirk Cousins now. Apparently,
I
he's a
always
very
liked
likable guy.
I like Kirk.
Nice.
You like that? I like that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I like that.
everything.
I like his chains.
Yeah.
Kirk Chains. All right, so now we're gonna go down the list or down the road, and then you're gonna start off. What is your NFC North prediction?
I think the Detroit Lions are the number 1 seed in the NFC. I'm gonna have the Vikings at 2. Actually, I changed my mind. Lions, Packers, Vikings, and I think the Bears are on the last spot.
Okay.
This was the toughest division for me to rank so far out of all the ones we've done, because I really feel like any of these teams could be last and any of them could be first. So I'm going to bet that the Bears already looked decent last year, and I don't think they're going to get worse with how much talent they added. So I'm not going to have them last, actually, but I'm going to have the Lions first. I think that's the easy favorite you got to bet on. I'm going to have the Bears second. I think Justin Fields takes a step up. Might be a risky pick to have, but I'm going to have them at second. I'm going to have the Packers, just with how solid their line and their defense is, at third. And then I'm going to have the Vikings being a disappointing team and finishing fourth in that division.
Gotcha. So interesting. I'm going to have so you had the Vikings last.
Yep. And I don't feel good about it necessarily.
So I have the Vikings number 1. I have the Vikings winning the division. I have the Lions being number 2 in the division. Number 3, the Packers. 4, the Bears. So Bears, I've said it pretty much every single time we've done this. Bears, they have the weakest offensive line in this, and I think that's going to play a factor in this. Packers, I think Jordan Love just isn't ready yet. I think he did show flashes when he did have his first career start last year, but I just don't think he gets it done. Lions, I think they have a chance to win, to be a wild card team at the 2 spot, and the Vikings take the division.
Awesome.
Sounds good. So that is our predictions. So you want to go through one more time?
Yep, absolutely. So the Lions, the Vikings, the Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, Bears.
Lions, Bears, Packers, Vikings.
Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears. All right, so now that is over, so the NFC North is over. Next will be a week from now, because it'll be a week from now because me and Jake will be in Florida, or I'll be in Florida. You'll be in
Hilton Head,
South Carolina.
Yeah.
So we will have a video still next week. It'll be posted Wednesday. But now let's get into some final words to end this off.
You're going to tell them about our guests too?
We'll say it after final words. We'll get into it after final words.
Absolutely. Well, my final word is I can't wait for you guys to see who our guests are coming up.
Exactly.
My final words, I'm going to say Antonio Brown should no longer have access to social media. And I'm not going to go further in depth on that, but yeah.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't look it up.
So I'm going to say, let's Reds country. Let's get a Shohei Ohtani to the Reds. Let's get him here.
That made Jaden LOL.
So let's get Ohtani to the Reds. Let's make it happen. And that is my final words. Let's get Ohtani to the Reds.
Let's do it.
And so
we're going to give him Joe Burrow for it.
Uh-huh.
We're going to give Joe Burrow to the Angels, and then
that's fine.
Yeah. Let's do it.
That's what it would realistically take to get him in Cincinnati.
Deal. I'll do it.
Okay,
I'll do it.
I'll do it. Doesn't hurt me.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So let's do that. And then you want to talk about our Wednesday episode?
Yeah, we got some special guests joining the podcast. Should we tell them who it is or no?
Nope. Give them a hint.
They're local
athletes
athletes
college athletes,
college level athletes to this area. And yeah, I think you'll be familiar with them if you know us at least. So
yeah, if you know us, you'll know them most likely.
We had some good conversations with them.
Conversations. New to us, new to them. So if there is a couple flaws, it was new. It was our first having guests on the show. So go give that a watch. It'll be released Wednesday at probably 3 p.m. We'll release it on social media on what time it will be released. But yes, that is our first ever guest on the show. So we had 2 of them. It'd be in the same video. One, I'm just going to go ahead and give them this too. One is a golfer, college golfer, and one is a college baseball player. So be ready for that. Be on the lookout for that. And thanks for watching today. And this was also our first live. Thought it went pretty smooth. So going forward, we'll probably start doing this. We'll probably start going live. So
I really like this.
Yeah, so we will post this on social medias as well when we will be going live. So be on the lookout for that. Give us a follow, like, subscribe, do all the stuff. And
ask us some questions.
Ask us questions in the Q&A, and then that is all I got. Anything else?
Yeah, it's been a good time.
All right. Peace.